Hello, this is Lewis here again, and this next story is one that significantly changed our life and even everything we've been able to do up to this point in time. And I'm going to get into a thought later that all things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to His purpose. And this move that we're getting ready to make here to Atlanta, Georgia, there's about three significant things that happened during this 4-year period, and I believe they were orchestrated beyond myself. Um, if I go back, when I graduated from Bible college at age 23 and got married, that was 1980. Um, my dad was a head administrator, like I'd said before. He had come to the mission to be the director, and in 1982, he left to go to Atlanta, Georgia. Obviously, with a church or any kind of business, there's changes, and they was going through some changes. And in 82, he ended up going to Georgia. Well, I was staff. Like I said, I had been the dock foreman and then later became the assistant director of Fort Lauderdale. Um, and in this process, between my dad leaving, being the administrator, two other significant things happened around 1982. One, um, my grandmother passed away from leukemia, which was my dad's mother. And because my dad had gone to North Carolina, um, some of that responsibility fell upon me at age 25 at that time to sort of look out for her. And then also another thing is my uncle passed away with a massive heart attack suddenly in 1982 when I was age 25 as well. So I had my dad leaving, I had my grandmother passing away, I had my uncle, which worked at the ministry there repairing refrigerators and things that were sold. They refurbished them. Um, he passed away. And then the other thing that I was dealing with is my wife was wanting to have a baby and going through the medical issues, and she couldn't. So I was dealing with that as well. Bottom line, for the next 2 years, it was a struggle between 82 and 84, between age 25 and 27. Finally decided at 27 I was going to leave the church, the ministry, and quite frankly never intended to come back ever again. I was done with that. That was that part of my life. I was going to move on. Um, at that point, I was trying to make a logical decision. I'm age 27. I have a wife. At that time, I had no children. What am I going to do to provide for my family? And at that point, I evaluated three different options. One, I could sell real estate as a real estate agent. Number two, I can become a computer technician. Number three, I can do computer software programming. At that time, the computer was just cranking up big time around 1982, and I had already done some software programming on my own through the church. I'd actually been doing quite a bit of my own programming and learning programming, so I enjoyed that kind of work. The bottom line is I chose to go to a technical school in Atlanta, Georgia, sold everything I had, and also sold, I had almost a brand new car, sold it, and went and got an old car again. It's almost like doing the Bible college thing again, selling my Trans Am to go to Bible college. Now I'm selling my uh, almost brand new Toyota Celica, gorgeous car. Um, and decided to go to Atlanta. Had $1,000 in my pocket, put the $1,000 down on college, and went to technical school. In the process, I went to the school. I chose a Total Technical Institute over DeVry because DeVry was a 2-year school, 24 months. The other school was 8 months, same amount of hours and credit hours, which means I had to cram all that study, time, and everything into 8 months versus 24 months. Plus, the cost at that time for DeVry was $10,000. My cost was $5,000. I put the $1,000 down and got student loans for the remaining $4,000 and paid my way through. In the process, at this point, you got to remember I'm 27 years old. I know it seems relatively young, but there was guys that were coming straight out of high school, 18, 19, 20, that were going into this technical school. They had just got out of all their trigonometry classes, their calculus, and their mathematics and everything, and they were just all buzzed up on top of everything. And they were sharp. And me and this older guy, they put us up together, and they kept all the younger guys together. And we would have a lab in the afternoons, build circuits out of components, etc. Bring real theory into real life. And they would be done in an hour or two and put their feet up in the deck and just chat and talk in the classroom. And we were just sitting there struggling, trying to figure out how to do it and get it working and do the lab. And that's pretty much the way I did it. I had to tough it through. And it was hard. But believe it or not, at the end of that school, I graduated the valedictorian of the class and actually got the best placement out of all the students. And went to work for a company called Harris Lanier. Worked for them about 3-4 years, and learned a whole lot about computers, from operating systems, multi-operating systems, from CP/M, MS-DOS, AES, Xenix, etc. All kinds of things. Learned a lot about mathematics. I learned about base 2, base 8, base 16. With computers, obviously, we know that they all work like a light switch. You turn it on and off. Zeros and ones, right? A 0 is down, a 1 is up, or vice versa. And so mathematically, you work in base 2 or binary system. And so we count in the base 10 system, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you shift the digit 1, 0. It's a base 10 system. Binary is 0, 1. So you know 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, etc. So you're counting in binary and shifting the digits just with zeros and ones. Well, octal is base 8, which if you shift the digits over to 3, you can do it faster. And then base 16 is really Egyptian mathematics, brilliant mathematics, and basically that's hexadecimal, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, capital A, B, C, D, E, F. And then you count with those numbers. So I was trained on an engineering level by engineers in this school from computers on the code in the bootprom, which is called the bootstrap or boot ROM, read-only memory, that actually turns the computer on and tells everything what to do, the keyboard, the mouse, the screen. And so we were trained on a very high technical level. And I was able to experience 4 years of a very high-tech company that manufactured satellites for the government. They manufactured chips, etc. The other thing is, through the process, I was blessed within 2 years to be one of the top technicians in the whole southeastern United States. Also, our home base for Harris Lanier specifically, was in Atlanta, Georgia, which means they had the design center there, they had the test center there, they had the national tech support there. So all the people were there, and then our demo room, which I was in charge of, that we demoed to all the big clients in Atlanta, Georgia. I had to keep all the hardware and software up to date. So it really gave me some major training in networking and computer design interfacing. So that foundation, I know it's very technical for most people to hear this, but it established me in computers for the future. The other thing that we actually did is we were actually testing computers 2 years before they were released to the field. And you got to remember, this is about 1986, 87, right in there. And we were testing stuff to come on the internet in the next 5 to 10 years into the future. One of my territories was Georgia Tech, and there was a couple buildings there where they had top secret stuff that they actually tested. and we would actually bring our computers in and we would connect them with other major systems like Sun Microsystems, IBM mainframes, etc. And then we would just let them talk together through the thick black Ethernet cables, um, TCP/IP, Telnet, etc. Very basic before they ever had the interface on the internet as we see it today to make it easier for users. It was back, and you actually type in very basic commands to do very basic processes. So anyways, in my time going to Atlanta, there's three major things that happened. Number one, my wife was able to get surgery through a leading doctor that his picture was on the front cover of Time magazine. When she went in and looked in his waiting room, his picture was on the front of Time magazine, and he was training doctors all across the nation. That was the doctor that did her surgery. So she had one of the best doctors with the newest technology, which we had knew nothing about. We didn't plan that. It just, quote, happened, right? Number two, we were able to adopt our son, which I'm getting ready to talk a little bit about in the future. And then number three, I was able to get my technical training computers, which established a very technical platform and base for my whole future and what I'm doing. So anyways, hope you're having a great day. Talk to you later now.